Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? The Booth Review is back, and it's the Hurricane edition, Hurricane Michael edition. Shout out to our Panhandle listeners. Hope y'all are good right now, especially you, Tanner.
And Jern.
Yeah, honestly, he probably has a lot of gambling debts that he needs to settle, so maybe a hurricane wiping him off the map wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
He needs to go get the pretzels and he'll be okay.
And the cheese balls.
Yeah.
All right, man. So pretty great week of some college football, some NFL action. UFC got a little out of control.
Yeah.
Why don't we just dive into this recap here, man? Let's hit the college football picks first. What did you have for college football week 7?
Well, wait, are we going this week? Are we recapping last week?
I'm sorry, week 6. Week 6.
Threw me off. Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry.
No, Red River Showdown. Or is it Shootout?
Shootout. I don't know, honestly.
I think it's Showdown.
Okay. Did they change that recently, or?
Yeah, actually this year. I don't know why. That's like something.
That's like an ABC, ESPN move, definitely.
Classic.
I picked Oklahoma. Texas dominated.
Yeah, as did I. I picked Oklahoma as well. This is one of those games where, like, your defense is so bad that your defensive coordinator gets fired afterwards. That is precisely what happened.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the Stoops brother.
Yep.
But, I mean, what else is there to say? There's just terrible defense. I mean, Oklahoma's offense has kept them in it, gave them a chance to win at the end. And, I mean, just, again, Texas got one last opportunity. That was the kind of game whoever had the ball last was going to win. And defense couldn't keep them out of field goal range and hook them, I guess.
Yeah, it's classic Big 12, no defense, 7-on-7 football.
Yeah.
Let's go to FSU in Miami.
Did you
pick?
I had Miami.
Did you pick Miami too? I picked Miami too.
Okay.
I told you maybe off air I thought FSU was going to win, or maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But I don't feel bad for them about the whole double pass getting called back.
No.
So.
Blaming the refs is a loser game, even though that's exactly what I'm going to do when we review the Giants pick. But
I actually don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't see any of that game. So.
That's all right. I wish I hadn't either. But I was surprised FSU kept it this close. I think I've seen a lot of more victories from FSU fans. You know, we showed how good our coaching staff was. It's like, not really. I mean, you guys had 200 total yards, bunch of turnovers, blew a 20-point lead over a rival in the second half. Didn't score at all in the second half. I mean, the list goes on. And for a coach that talks about not blaming anyone else a lot, it seems like Willie Taggart really laid the blame on the ACC refs. But
I mean, to be honest, it's a legitimate gripe. That would have been a touchdown. That would have been game over in my probably. But yeah, I mean, they're going up against Mark Richt, so it's two mediocre coaching staffs.
You know how he goes in rivalry games.
Yeah. I mean, Florida State choking away a 20-point lead. Cape was actually at that game, and apparently Cape was chirping all game, and then the guys he was chirping started chirping him when Florida State fell. So I wish I could have seen that transpire.
Was the video of the fight? Was that him?
No, it wasn't. I'm surprised though. Is
that guy live? That guy was laying dead.
He looked dead.
I was saying he's motionless on his back for at least a minute.
Yeah. Someone needs to go check up on that guy at what's that stadium called now? Hard Rock Life?
Yeah. It's Hard Rock Seminole Casino.
Yeah, whatever.
Who cares?
Who cares? Let's move on to A&M and Kentucky. Kentucky took their first L of the season.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I called this one. A little bit of regression to the mean by Kentucky.
Yeah.
Again, they showed they can't clutch out a game with a field goal kicker. Doinked it off the crossbar. That was really fun to watch. I was a real jaw-dropping moment when they ran back that fumble to tie the game up in just a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, because at that point both teams are totally stagnant. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of A&M had just scored a crazy carom, to pull a word out of Fowler's textbook, of a touchdown, ricocheted off one of the receivers' hands in their tight end. And, that was just a dagger. You knew Kentucky wouldn't be able to do anything after that. And then Kentucky comes right back out, scoops up a fumble, takes it back to the house. And just, real crazy turn of events in the fourth quarter. But, in those kind of overtime games where like both teams have been doing nothing the whole time, and then like it just miraculously ends up in overtime, I feel like the better team always wins. I feel like A&M is way more talented than Kentucky. So, alas, there you have your answer.
Yep, I concur. I picked Kentucky though, but damn it, I wanted Kentucky to win. I wanted Kentucky to win.
Oh, dude. So I don't know. Because now
the thing is though, to get into the like long-term picture here for Florida, right. If we want to actually think about going to the playoff, which I know everyone watching is probably going to be like, all right, just stop.
Yeah.
But if we're going to think about this, if Kentucky, first of all, if there was a 3-way tie for the SEC East, do you know how they decide that?
No, you were telling me earlier, but I don't remember exactly.
So the team that has not been there for the longest gets to go.
No,
which is insane. No, seriously, yes. How crazy is that in the SEC? They're starting to hand out participation. This is the liberal P-wordification of the SEC. Okay, and I don't stand for it. Quite
the left wing college football
this is
media.
Left wing. But yeah, so Kentucky would have theoretically, if we all, if everybody tied, Kentucky would have gone. Which would have helped Florida because let's just say, Kentucky goes to Atlanta and gets absolutely smacked by Alabama. We, would have beat Georgia to finish with a 1 loss. Right. Now we can kind of backdoor into the playoff.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty likely that this side of the conference ends up in a tie at this point. Like, if Florida can pull out a win versus Georgia, then, I mean, you need more help for Kentucky to lose if Florida wants to go ahead and get in the championship game. I think there's another loss in Kentucky's schedule. I mean, I think they will regress to the mean a little bit, but I can't say for sure. And that's just assuming Florida beats Georgia as well. There's a lot of assumptions going on. But
if Florida beats Georgia and then Kentucky loses to Georgia, Kentucky now has 2 SEC losses. Georgia would have 1, we'd have 1, and we'd win the tiebreaker since we beat Georgia. So
that's on. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but let's assume, Kentucky. I guess you're right. I guess then Kentucky would have the tiebreaker.
Kentucky ruined it. I mean, to be honest, Kentucky shot themselves in the head. So
put the dun chain on them.
Yeah, put the dun chain on them. Well, we'll stay in the SEC. Auburn, Mississippi State. I picked that one horribly wrong.
Indeed. Auburn looking really, really bad right now. I can't, again, this is like something where I can't tell Mississippi State's good or Auburn's real bad. I think it might be a little bit of both. Yeah,
it's definitely both. Mississippi State looked horrible against us on offense, and Auburn just does not look good all season.
Mm-hmm. If they don't have that win over Washington in the first game of the year, like where are they right now? It's like as far as the program, because I know their fan base is already like furious with Malzahn.
They're going back to we want Malzahn out, which is it's kind of funny.
It's just such an up and down thing every year. It's the Malzahn cycle. And his buyout's like $34 million, and he just signed a 7-year contract. Like, sorry guys, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, get used to it.
I'm sure it'll be a top 5 team next year, though. That's usually how this works.
Speaking of top 5 teams, the Gators took one down. You and I were both there. It was
felt pretty good, man.
It was a big day in the swamp.
Yeah, big day.
So, Pat, I ask you, are the Gators back? Officially.
We have this conversation every year after Florida pulls off like their one good win of the year. Like even in the McElwain era, there was always like on SEC Network, there was like after one game, Dari Noko would sit there and be like, "Is Florida back, guys? Do we think Florida's back?" And everyone just kind of like postulates and doesn't really say one way or another. So I think we're definitely more back than we were back for the other backs. If you know what I'm saying?
Yes, we're.
But I wouldn't say we're back, because when you say Florida's back, what are you comparing it to? Like when we won a national championship in 2011?
No, just are we back in the national spotlight, like week in, week out? The games mean something.
I mean, yeah,
sellout crowd, swamps back, that kind of back.
I think so. I mean, the stadium's not going to be sold out for every game like it was during the Meyer era. Like stadium's not going to be sold out for the Mizzou game or the South Carolina game. I think if we beat Georgia, I still don't think it's like the hype is equivalent to what it was for LSU at that point.
Well, yeah, it won't be as loud as LSU, but I think it will be. If we beat Georgia, I think it'll be sold out just based off the fact that we don't play another big time team at home.
Right. I don't know, man. Florida has a lot to prove still, but they're in a really good position to do it. Because really, all they have to do is beat one more top team, and they're basically smooth sailing. Like, you can ride that. If you beat Georgia, you can ride that momentum wave for the rest of the year.
Well, let's talk about that game. What stood out to you?
I mean, obviously the defense, like, the defensive line is like, it's consistent, which is not surprising for me, but it's like that's what I'm looking for.
It's big,
just for the D line to be consistent with it. And they have been. I mean, Jacob like gets better it's hard, like, it's like a lot to say, but he gets better every week, and
he's on pace for double-digit sacks.
Yeah, he's already got four forced fumbles. That is a tongue twister.
That's a tough one.
4 forced fumbles, which leads the FBS, or at least tied for the lead. But I mean, he's playing himself in the first round. He's like, I guess the comparison this week was like Dwight Freeney, is what people are comparing him to. Which makes sense, you know, not a huge guy, but he's fast and nimble, and he's got all the athleticism in the world, and that's been moved. And I mean, I like what I see, and you can really tell, like, the strength and conditioning is a lot different. Like, the defensive line is just lasting into the fourth quarter now and actually taking over the fourth quarter. Like, there's no signs of exhaustion or letting up. They actually get better as the game goes on.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Thoughts on Franks? I thought he played really well. Sans the interception. It was just a mental mistake, but I mean, the throws he made to Grimes, the one that Grimes dropped, which would have been an insane catch, though.
Yeah.
The throw to Hammond, the throw to Jefferson, the catch he made from the throw from Lucas Kroll. I mean, that's a big time catch. I don't care what anyone says.
Tom Brady would have dropped it.
Yeah,
Tom Brady would have caught that.
Yeah. I mean, Franks, I think that was his best game as a Gator, all things considered.
That's interesting. Yeah, I thought he played pretty well. I thought, like, and I tend to be more of a irrational Florida fan when I'm in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of the emotion takes over, and I was complaining, saying, "Old Felipe's back." There was like three drives in a row where he skipped the ball to his receiver. He one hopped the receivers for 3 straight downs, 3 straight 3-and-outs, and I thought at that point, like, like, as Mullen would say, the rope is really slipping. You know, I didn't see them being able to, like, pick that back up and have belief in themselves to be able to go down and win the game with one more drive, especially the drive after they lost the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any way. I mean, I was texting people. I was like, this game is over. Like, yet again, another heartbreaking loss to LSU. I was pissed. But they proved me wrong. I mean, like you're saying, that the play calling on that last drive was impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
The speed option to the right. I mean, that was our version of the jet sweep last year for LSU.
Yeah, I think we really got to just take a moment here and give a shout out to LaMichael Pirine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a kid who paid his way to his Florida visits, got his offer. It's an Alabama kid, probably had, some home state offers that would have been great for him, but kid wanted to be a Gator, kid loves being a Gator. I don't know why I'm saying kid. He's a year younger than me. I just have a lot of respect for him. He shows up every week, runs tough, and I think, like, especially with, I think it's been fair to say he's been Florida's best back all year, especially considering Jordan Scarlett. And they both played really well this game, but I think Pirine is your most consistent guy as far as catching and running and all the above.
Yeah, the running backs balled out. They averaged, I think, 4.5 and 5 yards a carry. We ran for 200 plus against LSU's vaunted defense. Also, shout out to Glory Boy Vashawn Joseph.
Glory Boy Sean,
Glory Boy. That was his best game of his career. Not even close. Man. It was just unreal. He was all over the field. He made every single tackle. I mean, it looked like he made a play every play. Yeah,
he was flying around. I was listening to a podcast, and never mind. I can't repeat that on the show. It's a family-friendly show. Some guy said the Florida defense was flying around with like a bunch of R words. And, I mean, yeah, right. He was in on every play. 14
like a bunch of Redskins?
Yeah, a bunch of redacteds. 14 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, which is crazy in itself, and then 2 sacks. I mean, he's really thriving in the system. Like, and when David Reese was out, he kind of had to stay in the middle and play that disciplined gap role, which, as we know, is not his deal. he likes to jump out of his gaps a little bit and try and make plays, which I can't blame him for. I would have done the same thing.
Like an R-word.
Yeah, precisely. But go ahead.
Sorry, the most popping stat to me was we did not allow a sack, and if I'm not mistaken, LSU did not even register a tackle for loss. Okay.
I think they had 2.
It was 2. Okay, it was 2 then. Yeah, which is crazy because the LSU game every year is where we get sacked like 6 times and suffer lots of tackles for loss.
Yep, I think this is the second game in a row now where the offense has only given up, like you said, 0 or 1 sack. I think there was 1 or 2 sacks.
There was one in Starkville.
Still, I mean, we can't talk about this game without talking about the progression of the offensive line. And kind of along the same lines as the defensive line, they took over in the second half. They got better as the game went on.
It was one in the trenches, no doubt.
Yeah, especially with Brett Heggie finally getting in there a little bit. I don't think it's any question that he's the best lineman on the team. He's a road grader. He's quick and agile, and he knows what to do. He's just been hampered by injuries. Like you saw, he was coming back from the knee injury last year, which is why he wasn't getting on the field in the beginning of the season. He's struggling to keep up with conditioning and such. But I don't know if he broke his hand or if it's just something, but he's completely wrapped in a club cast, which kind of hampers you a little bit as an offensive lineman as far as being able to grab and direct people. But, I mean, he got in there and he was pulling all over the place and decleating defensive backs and opening up big holes. So, glad to see Heggie back in there.
Yeah, it was a big win.
Yeah, all-around huge win. Shout out to Evan McPherson. Shout out to Tommy Townsend.
Yeah, Tommy Townsend. Their punter was pretty good, too, but Tommy was on fire.
Yeah, that 70-yard punt on the last drive to pin them deep.
Yeah.
After Florida was able to kill 4 minutes off the clock for Jordan Scarlett, just grounding and pounding.
Yep.
I thought, honestly, that was the most impressive drive of the game to me. Knowing exactly what they had to do. We have to go in there and we just have to run block and try and eat some yards right now and eat some clock. And I thought everyone was on the same page and executed it to perfection. So I was impressed with that.
Yep, I agree. Shall we jump over to the NFL, take a look at our last week, or do you want to predict this week for college?
No, let's jump over to the NFL.
Okay.
Let me get these picks off. Or not these picks off. These, I was right off.
What was your record last week?
Let's see. That's a dub. That's not. Dub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1.
Nice. I was 4-2.
Ooh, all right.
So.
All right. So you had me last week. I'll take you this week.
There you go.
All right. Giants and Panthers. This is sad. This was a sad one, man.
63 yards. Have you seen the call in Spanish, by the way?
Yeah, I saw the call in Spanish, bro.
Nah.
I mean, I just feel sick for the Giants. It's the first time in 2 years that they've scored more than 30 points, including a classically clutch Eli fourth quarter final drive of the game, drive down the field and score a touchdown after playing terribly for the whole first 3 quarters of the game. I mean, I don't even know what to say, dude. The team looked good. They look good.
Yeah, the Panthers are not bad at all. So that was an impressive performance for sure.
OBJ got involved. Saquon was all over the field, making all kinds of plays. Eli threw 2 picks, but I guess he did it. He didn't do it when it mattered. And then on the last, so the Giants scored with, I think it was 58 seconds left or something like that. Panthers had 58 seconds left. And they did, if you remember the last time the Giants and Panthers played in the Meadowlands, which was OBJ's meltdown game, it was the same exact thing where the Giants stormed back, took the lead with a little less than a minute left, and they did, I think it was a CBS game, and they did that sideline shot of Cam where right after the Giants scored, and he was, had that look on his face all right, here we go, and there was no doubt that they were just going to drive down, kick a field goal, and that's exactly what they did. It was the same thing. They did the sideline shot of Cam. You could tell, they were going to drive this ball down, and Giants defense did really well to not let them until 3rd and 1, about 14 or so seconds left. So, you either convert this or it's pretty much game. It was a real close call. In my opinion, in my expert opinion, McCaffrey didn't get to the line, but what the NFL said was they reviewed it in New York without having to stop play on the field, which is something I had never, ever seen. I've never seen or heard of before in my entire life.
I need to watch this play really quickly because I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know how you review a call in a different city without a game stoppage. Like, how is that even fair? Because the Panthers could have, and like, to me, he clearly did not get it. So I'm sure they must have just been rushing, because obviously the Panthers are getting right up to the ball to get ready to snap it again. So they must have had about 10 seconds to make that call, and that's a game deciding call, and that was what allowed them to go, run in the kicking team and get the kickoff, because if he doesn't get that first down, they don't have enough time to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
so I'm just confused. I didn't even know that was possible, that you could review the call in New York without stopping the game, or like at least letting teams know, like, hey, we're reviewing it.
I guess it is. I mean, let's move on to the next game. I'll watch that. I'm watching this highlight.
Yeah, I'm too busy blaming the refs. I'm not to mention there's a phantom personal foul call against Landon Collins. Like, don't even get me started. All right, let's move on.
All right, well, let's move up to Kansas City. The Jags choked. They didn't show up.
I'm not surprised. I think we talked about it last week. The Jags used all their big game points versus the Patriots in week 2. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to win another quote-unquote big game for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Bortles regressed, went back to his old self. It was pretty bad. He threw a pick off the helmet of his own player. It was on lineman, right? It was pretty bad.
I mean, looked like Eli out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but hey, Jalen Ramsey won his matchup with Tyreek Hill, which is good because he was on my bench.
Side note, the NFL did not include, in the 12-minute and 23-second highlights, they did not include the McCaffrey play on YouTube.
Oh, could you imagine that?
So, yeah.
I wonder why.
So, you know what? I give up. I'll take your word for it. They probably screwed the Giants over.
They did.
Steelers whooped up on the Falcons. Surprise, surprise. The Falcons' defense is non-existent.
I was actually a little surprised by the outcome of this one. It really wasn't even close. I was surprised that the Falcons' offense couldn't do anything against a pretty crappy Steelers defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm sure we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but is that a sign that the Steelers' defense is getting better, or are the Falcons officially done?
Falcons are pretty bad. I think they're done.
Their offense was averaging like 35 points a game prior to that.
They have such a deep hole to climb out of. Yeah.
They're not really playing for anything again this year. If they could stop the season right now, I think they would.
Yeah,
just shut it down.
No doubt. Well, we mentioned Jern earlier, the Eagles fan. Vikings took it to him.
Yeah, that Vikings defense finally looked like they were living up to the hype.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to the big man touchdown.
Yes.
That was legit.
I had to see those. That was the most legit big man touchdown I've seen in a while. I mean, he took that thing like 30 yards.
More, I think it was like 60.
It might have been. Yeah, it was a long way.
He was moving. Man, what's his name? He used to be on the Giants too. I'm really upset that I can't remember, but great player. He's quick. He ran a 5.0 flat in the 40 in the combine. So, and he was moving, dude. He got those big legs moving.
Yeah, they might want to put him on some packages.
Yeah.
On offense.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles don't look very good right now.
It's because they're not that good. They don't their offense. There's nothing special about their offense. I mean, Wentz is very good, yeah, but that's it though.
What do you? I mean, they just lost Ajayi for the season too.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. That blows for them because now they don't have any real good. Their running back depth just is not what it was last year.
I guess that's why they're trying to trade for LaShawn McCoy now.
Or David Johnson. I saw that too, but.
Looks like someone's firing up the rumor mill. Then and I don't know how accurate either of those are.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, do you think they can get it going towards the end of the season, or do we think last year was an aberration?
I think they can get it going because their division's not very good. No offense.
None taken. Hey, that's the only reason we're still.
They'll probably honestly still win the division, but they're gonna. It's first round wild card exit, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree. Eagles not that great this year. Suck it, Jern boy.
Dolphins Bengals.
I think last week we dubbed this game the Who Cares game of the week.
Yep, it was.
I think the Bengals
the Bengals won. The Dolphins were up 17-0 and blew it.
That's not shocking to me.
Yeah, let's just move on from that game because, like we said, who cares? I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, Redskins at Saints for the Monday night game.
Yeah, Drew Brees in a dome, balled out.
You know how it goes. Pretty poetic that he breaks the record on a long touchdown pass. But I have a question, Greg. This might be a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but do we think that was do we think the Redskins let that happen?
Well, why would that have?
It was pretty busted coverage. I mean, there wasn't a guy in the area. There was two Saints players wide open.
I don't know. I doubt it. The 62. You're talking about the 62-yarder?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, because it's the NFL. It's weird. Everything is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna go ahead and say no. I don't think it was. It sounds like you actually think it was.
Dude, Derek Jeter's walk off on his last game.
David Price served up his 3,000th hit. It was a home run. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, dude. Like in these games where it doesn't really matter, like it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for me to imagine that a team might just serve this guy up one to make it a really cool moment. I don't know why they would do it, but it's like,
I mean, that would be like a Redskins move, though.
I mean, what are the Redskins really playing for?
Yeah.
Besides
letting Drew Brees just break records against them.
Yeah. Shout out to the NFL for giving him a certificate.
I'll have to do some more research about that.
I bet that was really meaningful for him.
Let's move on to the next week.
Yeah, enough bloviating about last week. Let's talk about this week.
Let's do some prognostication.
All right, Stephen A.
Tennessee Auburn, big game at noon.
Yep, college football week 7.
Yep.
Is this a big game?
Is it? No, absolutely.
I think this is a Suck Bowl. This is an iteration of the Suck Bowl.
Yep.
Is this at Auburn or Tennessee?
This is in Auburn.
Okay. I kind of like Tennessee to win this game, honestly.
Wow.
I'm sure I'll be wrong. I'm actually positive I'm wrong. But Tennessee coming off a bye week, Auburn's offense looks god awful, like absolutely inept.
It looks horrible.
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you why.
Are you anointing this game like the official Tennessee off a bye? Is this a new
trend?
No,
definitely not. It definitely just gave them a week to not be playing a game.
To not suck. They didn't get the suck last week.
Maybe get 2 weeks worth.
I'm using that same approach, but for a different result. They didn't get the suck last week. They had a week off, and now they're just going to suck this week. I think Auburn's going to take it to them, even though Auburn sucks. It's probably going to be 31-10, 31-17, somewhere around there.
All right. Well, I was thinking about switching over to Auburn, but since you picked them, I'll stick with Tennessee. Yeah. I'll stand in the paint. UGA at LSU.
Big one. Big one for the biggest game of the season for LSU and Georgia so far. I've been going back and forth about this one all week. I want Georgia to win because I want Georgia undefeated when we play them.
Right.
I also think LSU will probably win just because I don't see them dropping 2 in a row. And I don't even know how good Georgia is right now. That's the thing. I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
I'll let you go first on this one. I got to think about this one for about a minute and a half more.
It's not much of a question for me, really. I think UGA is definitely the better team. I think they'll definitely win. I don't think the whole LSU stadium things, and from my experience, I don't think Death Valley is that intimidating. And I could just be being biased, but I've been there for a night game. I wasn't blown away, to be honest. I just think UGA is way better all around. I wasn't impressed with what I saw from LSU last week. Their offensive line is still pretty banged up, which will kind of allow UGA's defense to take advantage of that. Burrow didn't knock my socks off. A lot of their yards, a lot of the reason that LSU was in the game last week is because Felipe's interception in the end zone and our 120 yards of penalties.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like UGA. I think LSU has been propped up by like outside factors all year this year, and I think UGA is actually just talented.
Okay, I think you convinced me. I'm going Georgia. They got to play Vandy last week, who kind of kept it close for a little while, but Georgia hasn't really had to face anybody tough yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. South Carolina's not awful, but
no, but South Carolina is no LSU, and they got Georgia's had they're 6-0. As far as I'm concerned, they've had 6 weeks of practice almost.
I would tend to agree with that.
I think they're ready.
I like what you said about Georgia being undefeated too. I think even if not for a strength of schedule reason, just for a motivational factor, like if they lose this game to LSU, they have to beat us next week.
Yeah,
or their season's over. So I would like them to be undefeated as well.
Exactly. I want them coming in thinking they're way better.
Right on top. I got you.
Yep. Michigan, Wisconsin. We're gonna go to the Big Ten.
Unfortunately,
against my will. I don't.
It's in the Big Half.
I'm just gonna go Michigan.
I agree. Michigan.
They're looking pretty good. They beat Maryland by 21 points. So.
Wasn't it close there for a little bit though?
Yeah, it was, but they pulled away.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan. I guess. I'm just like I still haven't seen anything out of Harbaugh that like makes me think that like they're a sleeping giant or anything.
Yeah, I think they're honestly going to lose to Michigan State this year too, just because they always do.
And he scores on the last play of the game. All right, another ranked matchup in the Pac-12: Washington at Oregon.
I'll take Washington.
See, I'm taking Oregon. I think Washington has been dangerously close to picking up a second loss and knocking the Pac-12 out of the playoffs all year this year. And I think this is the one. I think this is the week.
This would help Florida a lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like if the Pac-12 and the Big 12 gets knocked out of the playoff, like that would be incredible.
Well, then that kind of opens up a door for one of our next teams in the next game we're going to pick, UCF in Memphis.
The group of five.
I'm picking Memphis. I'm going to do it. UCF, I don't look like. Yeah, they might be good, but their toughest game is probably this game all year.
What about USF?
I don't want to. Yeah, or USF, but USF keeps squeaking away every week. Like I know Memphis has firepower in offense. USF, outside of their Georgia Tech win, they haven't been impressive. They have only one conference win. Not that the American Conference is any good, but for instance, last week they beat UMass 58-42. That's not impressive at all. UCF's toughest game is either Memphis, Cincinnati, or USF. I don't want to hear anything about UCF getting in. That's why I need them to lose because I know I don't know if the committee will keep them out after last year. If they were to go undefeated.
I think it's really interesting because there's not a lot of precedent for this yet. Like how the committee's like thought process works from like if there's any carryover from one year to the next. I tend to think you're right as far as like if they go undefeated again, like they cannot keep them out. Like especially if two conferences get knocked out. Like
exactly, that's the main thing.
I tend to agree with you on that. But however, I also think that you can't really like keep in mind one year to the next. Like I don't think there can be any rollover if you're like supposed to be this big independent like commission type deal.
Well, yeah, I don't think there should be, but I'm saying there might be. I just like if Boise State can go on the road and play Oklahoma State and schedule that game, then UCF can schedule somebody better than Pittsburgh or North Carolina.
I mean, I agree with you.
And I know it's a two-way street. I know two schools have to come to an agreement, but I mean,
I don't think that can happen within 1 to 2 years though. Like these scheduling things take like 5 years in advance.
That's a good point.
And by then, I don't think we're still talking about UCF. To be honest, I just don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, they lost Scott Frost. That's good. When they lose their talent from Scott Frost's team, it's probably gonna hurt them a ton. I just don't like they don't deserve to play in the playoff. I'm sorry. Like I know they're a good team. I understand that, but it's about deserving to get there. And I don't want to hear anything about beating Auburn last year. We beat Auburn. Auburn did not care at all about that game.
That's always my argument. Like, I promise you, Auburn was ready to go home. Like, they did not care about.
They had to go to the same stadium they just lost in against Georgia. They didn't want to do that at all. Right. And they got to play big old UCF. I'm sure they were hyped for that one.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. That was literally UCF Super Bowl, and like Auburn was ready to go home.
And they honestly barely won the. I mean, they didn't beat them. It wasn't like they stomped them. It was a close game.
Yeah.
So yeah, just go. I am so sick of UCF. Just go away, please.
Honestly, dude, like if Florida, and I know like we're a little crazy for talking about Florida getting the playoff, but it's still a mathematical possibility right now. Until that is not the case, like once that becomes the case, I want UCF in because I want them to get throttled by whoever they play first, just so they can go away forever. And I totally stole that from Twitter, but
yeah, I saw that same tweet.
it's a good idea.
I mean, I agree. Like, I'd like to see them play Alabama week 1 in the playoff, and just get throttled.
Yeah, dude. What if they win now?
Well, then we would look like a bunch of assholes.
Well, we are, but then we would actually have to feel like
it would be official then.
Yeah. So. All right, well, we just talked for 15 minutes about UCF or Memphis, so I guess I'll take UCF.
Okay. All right. Colorado, USC, this is some Pac-12 After Dark, what we all have been waiting for. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. Colorado's sneaky good. They're 19.
I was just about to say, there are playoff implications in this game. Yeah. Colorado is still undefeated, so I don't think you can officially rule the Pac-12 out until this team loses.
Correct. And also Oregon, if Oregon wins this week, I think they would still kind of be alive.
I don't know, though. They already took that L to Stanford, and Stanford has been regressing.
So do you think a Pac-12 team has to be undefeated to get in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, if a Pac-12 team has to be undefeated, then get UCF, go away.
Well, obviously UCF would have to be undefeated.
Yeah, but if that's what, just saying. I'm taking Colorado. I think they're legit. USC, I don't know much. The USC is favored by 7 points.
Is this at USC?
Yeah, this is in Memorial Coliseum, home of the Rams. Yeah, I'm taking Colorado. I'm picking the upset here.
I think I'm going to go Colorado too. Although I would say USC's been getting better, but I mean Colorado's kind of riding a wave right now. I don't know though, dude. This one's tricky.
UCF has been. I mean, UCF's 2 losses are against Stanford and Texas. Those are 2 good teams.
Yeah,
and both on the road. So those are 2 tough games.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to change my mind. Go switch this one up. I'm going to knock the Pac-12 out of the playoffs this week.
Do it. If we can knock the Pac-12 out of the playoff and then have a Pac-12 team, i.e. USC, knock Notre Dame out of the playoff,
oof,
I would be grateful.
Yes, this is what we're doing on this podcast. We're eliminating playoffs.
We're just eliminating too, and we're just going to sneak Florida in there. Totally not biased at all.
I don't know, Greg.
I don't know if these teams are for real, but I really think Florida's for real. Well, speaking of Florida, let's get to the game. It's in Nashville.
What a snoozer, bro.
I know. 11 a.m. Central Time. That scares me.
I'm not even going to be done with my coffee. Like,
very scary game. This is going to be an ugly, ugly game.
Yeah, I agree. The whole Florida Vandy ugly game fest transcends coaching eras.
Yeah.
Especially when it's an 11 a.m. kick their time. I mean, I think UF wins. I think it's like a 21-13 type game. I mean, Vandy's not as bad.
They're not bad at all. They almost beat Notre Dame, and I know this is before Notre Dame made the quarterback change, but still, come on. And they were moving the football against Georgia last week. Shermer's still there, which scares me. Anytime Vandy's got a returning quarterback, it kind of worries me. Ralph Webb's no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
I think, actually.
They have that Roundtree guy. He's pretty good, though.
Okay. They have some decent talent. Derek Mason's not a bad coach at all.
No.
He's a tough coach. I'm thinking, I think Florida I hope Florida wins. This would be just heartbreaking to lose to Vanderbilt after beating LSU. I think we win, but I think I'm on the same page with you. I think it's going to come down to a defensive stop on the last drive.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious to see the scores from the past 10 Florida Vanderbilt noon kickoffs. They're probably all one possession.
Yeah, there's a lot of scores divisible by 3 football, in there.
A lot of 13-6s, 9-6s, 6-3s. I'm going officially going to go 20-9 Florida. Maybe just a touchdown to put it away or a field goal to make it a 2-score game, and then everyone breathes a collective sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm. As far as schematically, I don't know anything about Vandy's offensive line. I know they have an injury at center. That's literally all I can tell you about Vandy's offensive line. So I like to give Florida's defensive line a huge advantage here, and I think they have it. But I just don't know how up you can get for a game at 11 a.m. I can't. I'm trying to put myself in Ja'Kai Polite's shoes, playing in a Vanderbilt stadium at 11 a.m. with literally more Florida fans than Vandy fans.
Which could help us. Which will help us.
I guess, but it's how do you get excited for that game? You can't really make awesome plays when you're just going through the motions.
Well, this game's going to be on the coaching staff. We're going to see a lot of what this coaching staff is about. Previous regime, we played down to our competition almost every game. Played up or down to it. See Arkansas 2015. Right. Or 2016, rather. See Vanderbilt every single year. See FAU. So, yeah, this is... If this coaching staff is for real, which I think it is, I think we win. I would love to see a 2-score, 3-score game. Mm-hmm. I just until it happens, I can't predict that. Even I predicted a 2-score game, but
the more I think about it, the more nervous I get.
I know.
Because you're right, Shermer's a good quarterback.
Good. Yeah. Go back and watch the Georgia game. First half, they were moving the football.
Yeah, he can sling
it. That was a night game at Georgia. It's tough.
I think our defense is better than Georgia, but I cannot emphasize enough how much this game being at 11 a.m. actually makes a difference.
I know. It's actually very scary.
Yeah.
It's almost Halloween too, and it's just
spooky season.
Spooky.
All right.
Spooky.
But for the record, UF.
Okay. Do we have? Can you give us? You said score 21-13.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down. 21-13.
I'm saying 20-9. Okay.
I hope CJ Henderson finally gets an interception this week.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
My guy. Or Chauncey. All right. Let's kick it over to the NFL.
Let's do it.
Thursday night game. Giants-Eagles. This is a big game for the NFC East.
Yeah.
In a division where everyone looks pretty bad so far.
Both teams looking for their first divisional win.
No one's really out of it in this division. I truly believe the Giants are still the best one win team remaining.
Wow, what a claim.
That's where I'm at in my Giant fandom right now. No, but we're still the best one win team.
We're the best 1-win team in the league.
I mean, we've lost 2 or 3 1-possession games. Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and
let's not dwell on the past. Let's predict the future.
Eagles come to town on Thursday. Eli is historically bad in Thursday games, but I think the Eagles are kind of in a rut right now, whereas I think the Giants are on their way out of one. I think the team feels pretty good about themselves as far as the results of this past week. I think they're pissed off about how it ended, as I talked about with the refs. Players are very vocal about that being the case, so I think they're going to be ready to come out and show out. And I think, dude, you know what we didn't talk about? The whole Eli, Odell, Lil Wayne thing.
You gotta enlighten me, man.
I don't even really know, to be honest. Odell did a co-interview with Lil Wayne and Josina Anderson, where basically they tried to get him to say Eli was the problem, which obviously he is. I think everyone knows that. I don't think that's a secret. But I mean, the receiver is not going to say that. So they asked him if Eli was holding back. He said, "I don't know." Which is basically a cop-out answer. So of course,
I don't know. Wow.
he did say he doesn't get 20 targets a game like all these other guys, which I do agree with him about. I think for some reason Eli has not looked his way a lot this year, and he did this week. And look what happened. 120 plus yards and a touchdown. He threw for 1-2. He was a factor in the game. So
yeah,
I think that continues this week, if not to a fault. I think I like the Giants in this game. I think, like I said, they're pissed off and they want to win one, and the Eagles are a little downtrodden right now.
Who was it that started beating up the bench?
Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard. Okay. I just wanted to.
With an open hand.
Okay. I'm picking the Eagles. Get the pretzels. This is going to be a good one.
It's a pretzel win.
I just think the Eagles are the better team, even though both these teams suck. Well, not suck, but neither one of these teams is any good.
I agree. I mean, I think the Giants finally get Olivier Vernon back this week too, which should help the pass rush a little bit. Even though he's the most overpaid defensive lineman in the league as we speak, but I will not harp on that and his injuries. Let's move on down the line to Chargers at the Browns. This is a big game for the Brownies.
Yeah, this is huge. I don't know. Can I pick? I don't know. This is kind of my who cares game of the week, honestly.
Really?
Not who cares. No, you know what? No. The winner of this. This is like the winner is still relevant game. In my opinion, actually.
I don't think the Browns are going away this year.
Yeah, but you can't go 2-3. Can you?
I mean, why not?
I guess. Well, if anyone could do it, it'd be the Browns. But, man, this is tough. I don't know if the Browns have 2 in a row in them yet.
Dude, they have been in overtime 4 of the last 5 games.
Are they still in overtime right now?
As far as I know.
By the way, there was a game last week where we joked about going overtime. Do you remember which one it was?
No. It was probably the Browns, honestly.
It was the Browns one.
Browns Raiders.
I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I'm not confident in this pick at all. I just don't think the Browns have 2 in a row.
You sound like a hater to me. Sounds like a hater.
Yeah, call it what you want.
I'm gonna, against my own logic, I will pick the Browns. I think I talked about this with my brother last week. You keep thinking the Browns defense is actually not good, but then they keep creating turnovers and making plays and actually being good. And it's week 6 now. I think they have proved enough for me to believe in them at least a little bit. And I don't know, man. Brownies.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely going to be my least confident pick. No doubt.
I just don't understand how, I do know because Hugh Jackson's a terrible coach. And my theory is they've been losing so much for so long that he actually doesn't know how to coach to close out a game. He's always used to just losing. So, they get in these close situations and he doesn't know how to just finish it off.
Did you see when they made the field goal? He held up 2 for, I think it was 2 seconds left in overtime.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Okay, the Who Cares game of the week might be this one. It might be.
Yeah, this is the Who Cares game of the week.
I was hoping it wasn't. Jameis is starting.
Bucks at Falcons.
Yeah, forgot to mention that. I don't know what to think because as bad as the Falcons defense is and given as many weapons the Bucks have, I don't think the Bucks are good enough to exploit the bad defense, not with Jameson.